So I'm gonna try some backwards engineering here.
It works. Well, hey guys, welcome back to day 31. I'm Handy Matt. This is my channel. I do a lot of fixing and repairing around here, and I'm on a mission to see just how many videos I can do and upload daily in a row. And right now my new goal is 60 because I just met my first goal of 30. So we're shooting for 60. So stick around, hit that subscribe button, and let's get to it. We're gonna start where we left off yesterday, and that's this Aida Express 1500 500 candle power lantern that I'm working on restoring to at least functional. I don't think I'm gonna be able to actually restore it to where it's like perfectly original, because I think a lot of this stuff needs to get re-dipped in nickel or something like that. So we're just going to make it work and make it functional and make it something I can use. So let me get the camera up to where you're looking down right here, and I'll show you what I'm doing today. Alright, so yesterday I was having trouble getting this part out and also the little torch, but I used some of this Panther Piss, otherwise known as PB Blaster, and things loosened up and I was able to get things ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and take this out. Now, I found out very quickly you got to be very careful. There's a very small screen down here on this part, and I got to be very careful cleaning these things up. And on this part as well, I can't remember exactly what this is called, but this valve here controls how much fuel is going to the mantle and creates the light. And it also has a screen on the very bottom. So put that there for right now. Let me show you the donor lantern. So this lantern smells strangely like old gasoline, and it also has indications that somebody tried to burn gasoline in here. And I've heard that it works, but flash point in gasoline is so low, that's kind of scary, and I think it might have scared the people doing it because maybe they didn't have kerosene or mineral spirits. And I believe, just from the gunk that's in here, that they mixed a little bit of diesel with the gasoline, and it really made a mess of things. I mean, there's just some of this is definitely varnishing from old gas sitting there for a long time. There's so much of it, it just tells me there's something else in there, and I'm guessing it's diesel. And this one's really bad too. I can't even, well, I got it out earlier, but I'm not going to try to get it out again, but it's pretty bad. And this rod right here is all gunked up. The little needle thing on the end is intact, fortunately, but this is definitely not something I can use again because there's a lot of soldering going on here. Some things broke here and somebody soldered together and it's kind of messed up. So to the parts bin that goes. So let's get things laid out here to where I can let some of this stuff soak. I think opening that up will be good. This is the part I'm replacing with this one. This is the, what do they call it? I can't remember. It's like the mixing tube or something, right? It mixes the air and the gas together. This one we don't need. And here's the mantle holder thing from the old one, the donor. This one's junk. I can't get that grub screw out. But the porcelain mantle holder is in relatively good shape, so I'm going to hold on to that. I'm find a safe place to put that. Here's the original one from the lantern, the one I'm restoring, if you will. And this one is also in very good shape. Then here is the pressure gauge and the cap for it goes right here. This is where you put the fuel in. That's where this goes. And it's got a pressure relief valve here, so when you're done using it, you can bleed off the pressure and it won't be dangerous. Then there's some other little screws and whatnot in here. And this part right here, I'm going to carefully take it apart. I'm getting things set up here to give everything in this pan a bath with some good old-fashioned carb cleaner. Now, I discovered something in this Planters peanut can the other day. There was a envelope in here, and it had a parts list on it. There's like a wrench and an O-ring and a little replacement for here at the aperture or venturi or whatever you want to call it, and a couple other spare parts here, and then a little deal down here that's meant for cleaning this out. Well, it's all still assembled. So that was in there. I already knew this was in here. This is the full, complete owner's manual. Lots of good information in there. I haven't fully absorbed all of it, but that's in there. And it actually says in there to fill it with paraffin, liquid paraffin. But it also had this operating instructions that came with it. And it says, for years of trouble-free operation, follow these instructions. Before filling with kerosene or mineral spirits, check all pitties and nuts and yada 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 yada. So, and it says also use only good quality clear kerosene or mineral spirits. So, I guess liquid paraffin, kerosene, and mineral spirits work great. And there's a few extra spare parts in here. I have not identified this one yet. I don't know where that goes. But there's a few little doodads in there that I had no idea I inherited. But we're going to keep it tucked away in here nice and safely. Set that off to the side. I don't know how to take this part out. This moves up and down when you move your little valve here. It's kind of like a safety. You get it set, and if you bump the lantern or it falls over, it'll jar this and it'll flop to the off position. That's what it appears to me so far. But I'm hesitant to take this apart right now. So right now I'm just gonna, at the moment, I'm just gonna set it in here carefully. But I gotta be careful not to hurt this little, I mean, you can't even see it. I can barely see it with my own eyeballs. I know you can't see it on camera, but it's very small end on that. And then this is, I guess, like the preheater tube, and then the little venturi right there that atomizes the fuel as it goes up through this tube here and down to the mantle right there. So I'm going to hose all this stuff down really good with some carb cleaner. I'm just going to take a little bit more aggressive cleaning later on, but right now I just want to kind of get it, start breaking things up. There's a little screen on the end here. Be careful with that. Right now we're just trying to get things to start breaking up so I can clean it really good. We're gonna let this soak overnight. The screen on the end of here, just in case there's some gunk in there. So, I don't have any other solvent I can soak this in right now. Right now, just kind of get things going. Set that up aside. And what I want to do is start cleaning up this tank. I've got a toothbrush right here, and I got some Brasso. Now, nothing beats the good old-fashioned Neverdol, and if I can get my hands on some of the Neverdol that the Navy had in their stock system, that'd be lovely. That stuff was great. Came in a great big silver can, weighed probably about 3 pounds. That stuff was awesome. The Neverdol you can buy right now in like Walmart and all those other places, just like a small blue can, and it just doesn't seem to have the strength of that stuff that the military bought. But I'll do with what I can. So today we're just going to use the Brasso to get the heavy layer of crud off of here, off this tank, and get things set up to where later on I can come back and get some really good Neverdol on here and get it polished up to a nice mirror shine. I'm also going to do this. I'm not going to videotape doing this one. It's going to take forever because there's so many different little angles of stuff. This is just going to basically be a wipe down, maybe a little bit of Brasso, but this top is going to catch a lot of heat, so I'm not going to do something to it that's just going to disappear. But let's see how shiny we can get this tank. We're just going to scrub it with this toothbrush. Start breaking up that sludge and the buildup of dirt and whatnot that's on there. Get it down to where it's just bare metal, and that's when I'll bring in the Neverdol and really go to town on it. Did this a lot when I was a younger sailor. Shining brass every single day. And the goal every day was to make it like a mirror. So it's not going to take a whole lot here this will take only a few minutes to get this base layer of crud off of here. And just from this, when I wipe it off the rag, you're going to be pretty shocked at how shiny and cleaned up it is. But guess what? I'm going to be able to take it even further once I get the right Neverdol stuff. So, trying to set things up so that the next video on this will be actually putting it all back together and lightening it up and making some light. I think I can do it. It won't be tomorrow's video though. Tomorrow's video, I got to get back on that pole saw. Some of the parts are ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that tomorrow. So the whole idea here is when you're actually polishing with this stuff, you sit here and go like this, or with a little bit of a rag, and you just go around in circles until all this Brasso turns black. Now, it won't turn black right away with stainless steel, but with brass it will. Because it takes off a super, super thin layer of brass and turns it black, and that kind of tells you that you're getting it down to where it's super shiny. This fly that keeps flying around here, it's really annoying. Alright, let's get this wiped off. Let's see where we're at. Once I get done with this initial cleanup slash polish, look at that. You can see that right there? Compare that to the bottom side where all that crud is. I am going to, when I'm done with this part tonight, I'm going to put a little bit of evaporust inside the tank just to kind of break up some crud in there. And this is supposed to be stainless steel, so the magnet doesn't grab it, but if you come up here, it does. So there is something in that steel, and it appears right over here. So there's a chance that there's some rust residue in there. So I'm gonna put a bunch of evaporust in there overnight, clean that up. Then I'll flush out the entire tank with kerosene several times to get everything out so it's nice and clean. This lantern's going to look fantastic when it's all good to go. I can still see some stuff in there, and I can kind of feel it. That needs to get polished down a little bit. But that'll be the last step of polishing. Right now I'm just trying to get all the crud off of it. Let's see if we can expose this Aida Express. Let's say registered, made in Germany. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now and kind of show you what we're looking at. And there's a logo there too. I'll hit that up. Really good. Someday I'll have a man cave and I'll hang this up in the man cave. Pull it out for camping expeditions once in a while. Oh yeah, let's get the microfiber on there real quick. There you go. That's what we're talking about right there. But I can get it even shinier than that, and I'm going to do it. But right now, let's just get a layer of crud off of here. See how it all looks here in probably about 3 or 4 minutes. Microfiber works really good. I wish this had been a thing back when I was just a 19-year-old E1 in the Navy. But no, I had to deal with just old rejected thrift store cutoffs, blue jeans and old t-shirts. Okay, we're almost all the way around. And we're gonna knock it out right now. We don't need much more. Just a little bit. I already got some on the toothbrush. Oops, need a little bit more. That wasn't too terrible. I don't know if I'm going to do the bottom. Bottom actually looks like it's brass, which would be very beneficial to shine like a mirror. Let's do a little spot right here and see what it is, and see if it's worth the trouble. Oh, it looks promising. It looks promising. Look at that last. So let's get this wiped off. I'll wipe that off. You can't see it yet. Just wait. Clean up with the microfiber here. This is gonna look fantastic. Look at that thing. It's beautiful. I can't wait to get this. I mean, it's already like a mirror in a way, but I can't wait to get it all the way to where it's like a mirror. Let's take a look at this brass on the bottom. I think it's brass. I could be wrong. I don't know. Well, it did polish it up a little bit. It's gonna take a little bit of work. But if that's brass, I'm gonna turn that into a mirror, straight up. Brass or copper, it doesn't matter if it's brass or copper. I'm turning it into a mirror. Yep, and I like the fact there's a little dent right there. A couple more dents over on this side. It just shows it has a story. Somebody used it and it worked out great for them. And I like seeing those little scars on stuff I collect, especially on the guns I collect. You know, I got a couple old guns, and it's kind of cool looking them, and they're, you know, made in 1910 or 1905 or 1913. Or in the 40s or 30s, and you see it on the stock. There's some nicks and some little bit of scarring, and it just tells you that, hey, that thing was bumping around in somebody's wagon or the backseat of their pickup truck, and it tells a great story. And I love guns like that. The newer guns out there, yeah, there's ones I like, but I don't collect those ones. But I think right here we've got a winner. So that's day 31. I'll see you tomorrow on day 32. Laters.